remember to turn off the audio. I'm gonna get to talking. Gene's on the stream, closing the door really quietly. Cool. Are you gonna run the slides for me for the beginning? Cool. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome into our almost midway point event with VelociCode. If you don't know what VelociCode is, you're about to learn what it is. So welcome to the event. We're actually at Black Potion today. I'm excited to be here. There's a card shop located here in San Antonio. There's been a couple socials here. Pretty cool place, so definitely come check it out. So we are here today with dynamic and procedural audio and Godot. It's a pretty cool topic that I've been chatting with Werner about, how he's been doing audio generation and just general audio endeavors in the language of Godot and in video game development. So let's go to the next slide. And so what are we covering today? So it's what if Godot didn't just play audio, it made it. It was my tagline that I kept iterating with. I had a bunch of information, and then Werner was like, hey, can we not do bullet points? I don't like bullet points either, so I'm glad he said something. So I want the tagline, so he's going to tell you everything you're about to learn. I'm really excited to get this kicked off, and then something real quick after this. Our speaker, Werner, I've said his name a couple times. Super cool guy. He's been in audio and game development for years now. Software engineer, and then turned video game by passion, now a career, if I'm correct. So super excited to see the things that he builds, and I'm excited to have him back at another opportunity to speak here in San Antonio, as I believe the last time was earlier this year. So cool. What I wanted to say about VelociCode, if you don't know what VelociCode is, you're catching up at the right time. You still have about 2 weeks to start creating and building and submitting a project. VelociCode is your method to build a video game, or build a board game, or build any type of game. We open all kinds of, we invite anyone to build any type of thing, whether or not it's robots, whether or not it's physical media, digital media, whatever it might be. You're allowed to create and build anything and submit what you like for this event, but it must be a game, right? Has to be demoable, has to be that kind of stuff. Excited to be having a play test, and we'll talk about all that kind of stuff about upcoming events pretty soon. But I do want to hand the floor over to Werner and let him get to talking about what his talk is today. So thank you, sir.
Right. Okay, so my talk is on dynamic and procedural audio in Godot. For the past year and a half, maybe 2 years, I've been working on a lot of things related to audio. And I've been able to do some pretty cool stuff in Godot to add functionality to be able to do things that weren't available before. So as introduction, my name's Werner. I'm a full-time game developer. I'm also a software engineer, artist, and musician. I created multiple Godot projects through GD extensions. And my focus for the past 2 years has been basically music and audio for Godot. I've been a hobbyist game developer for 20 plus years. I started when I was in high school, and I played multiple games. I made Game Boy games, and professionally, I was a software engineer building services, compilers for very large companies. So that's my background. Okay, so to start off, how audio is usually handled for video games. You can think of musicians and game developers being in different roles. Usually a musician has a set of tools that they use to build their audio. So they have a specific program that within it has additional programs, which is a digital audio workstation. And then those smaller programs are audio components. They're generating the audio in case, the music. And usually the musicians will build out the audio tracks, and then they'll export like a WAV file, and then the WAV file gets imported to Godot. So all the tools that a musician has whenever they're creating their music, once you're in Godot, like all that functionality is not there anymore. So my focus, I've been thinking about how to get for the game that I'm building, I want the audio to be more dynamic and be like the main thing the game is using. So I wanted to be able to have that same kind of functionality inside the game engine during runtime. So that's been my focus. And there's different ways of being able to do a bit more dynamic music already. So there's tools like Fmod and Wwise that you can use. But for my background, I prefer open source tools, so I didn't use those. And of course, there's custom audio engines. So I don't know if there are any ones that are played like something like Rock Band. They had, like dynamic audio, but like I can't use their game engine. Like they built it for themselves for their games. So
It's something like have you ever played oh my gosh, what is it? It's the open source version of like Guitar Hero and all that stuff.
Oh, no.
I know you're Clone Hero. Clone Hero, yeah.
Oh, Clone
Have
Hero?
you ever played that before?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's a Unity build game.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty cool. They like rebuilt all of it and like people can like custom app stuff. So I'm curious, like I'd be curious what you think about it if you go play with that sometime.
Yeah, I'll check it out. All right. Yeah, so here's some graphics to kind of be able to visualize the workflow. You have a musical instrument. In this case, it's a keyboard. And then the keyboard has different notes. And whenever you press the notes, they have a specific velocity. And then you send those to a program, and they have different channels. And each channel represents a different instrument. So for example, here I'm using software for Linux, Carla. It's behaving as a digital audio workstation, and inside of it, there's multiple instruments that are generating audio. And here, what you have is you're able to specify what notes to play, and then you can actually change the parameters on the musical instruments to make the music dynamic. So instead of just having a single sound, you can actually change the way the sound is being generated in real time. So this is usually what musicians use. Of course, you could also record like physical instruments, but for the most part, it's a lot easier to have digital instruments. So you don't have to go out and like find a whole orchestra. Like you can do it with software. And if there's certain things, like for example, you're playing the violin and you want to have vibrato or like different kind of musical ideas, you do it through these parameters. Yeah, so then the way that musicians do it is they'll go ahead and export it, and then you have a whole bunch of WAV files. And then these WAV files are what you usually use in the game engine. A musician, whenever they're using a digital audio workstation, like they have a UI, they have the different instruments, and then here they have the MIDI events, which is basically the notes the musician is playing, and you have different tracks. You can mute them, you can add solo, change the volume. So it's a very dynamic way of being able to create music. So, and within this program, you can open up one of these instruments and modify all the parameters. So this is a bit of a simple one, right? Usually they're a lot more complex. But here you can see the waveform. It's very similar to math. You have like a wave, and then you can change its amplitude, its frequency, and based on the notes, the audio is changing dynamically. And then you can apply other aspects like filters to be able to change the way the audio sounds. Okay, so the vision, basically what I want to do is extend what Godot can do to make it be closer to the way a digital audio workstation works. So what I've been working on is building GD extensions that facilitate doing what the digital audio workstation does, but having it available to the developer inside Godot, not only during development, but also once their games are built to have it be available during runtime. And the idea is to be able to have those features, have them be easy to use, and then also be able to do the same things the musician is doing, but through code. So instead of hitting the notes in an instrument, you can do it in code by writing methods that say, play this note at this velocity during this time, or change these parameters on this instrument. Okay, so at the end, I'm going to be going over a demo. It's a small project I built, and I'm going to be showing off some of the different ideas on how to have the audio be dynamic within the game using the tools that I built. Okay, so the different projects that I've been working on, the first one I created was Godot C-Sound. C-Sound is a language that allows for you to write code that specifies audio processing. So you can think of it as like a shader that you would use visually, but for audio itself. Within there, you can do whatever you want. So C-Sound has been around for a long time. It's been used by researchers, and they've implemented a lot of functionality to be able to do signal processing, create instruments, drive MIDI events. So it's a full ecosystem for audio. And then I also created the LV2 and VST3 host. And these are programs that allow Godot to use audio plugins that already exist. So if a musician likes using an audio plugin and they want to be able to use it in game, they can load them and use them in the editor. And I also created Godot Distro, which is a program that allows somebody to use Godot as a software development kit to build audio plugins.
Wait, you created? You created?
So for these, it's integration, right?
Yeah.
So what I do is I take an open source library and then I integrate it with Godot to be able to build the plugins.
Okay.
So I didn't actually build all the code. It's more about building the functionality.
Wrapped it to make it true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Godot Distro, what it is the distro is a library that's written that, using like C++ and build files. You can build audio plugins.
Oh, okay.
And what I did is I took that, implemented it into Godot. So instead of writing C++, you use GDScript to specify what you want your plugin to expose, and then how the audio will be created, and then it builds the plugins for it.
Okay.
And then Godot Synth is a project that shows how these projects work together and integrate. All right, so yeah, so like I mentioned, C-Sound, it's a scripting language. Right now, it supports all the platforms that Godot supports. I don't have console support, and so I don't have a development kit yet, but it should be possible to port it over. And the way that C-Sound works is you have a CSV file. It's like an HTML format. And within there, you have specific sections. And in each section, you have different parts of code. And it's related to audio processing. And it also exposes an API that you can use. And it allows you to do real-time events with MIDI. So you can treat it as a live instrument also. So here, this is the project. This is Godot, right? What my project does is it adds a new tab in the bottom for C-Sound, and it works similar to the audio bus. You can add a new instance, load a project, save it, and so on. And then here you have the actual C-Sound instance. And then you have a CSV file that specifies what kind of script this C-Sound instance should be running. Then you add a audio stream player. And then within there, you specify that you want to use C-Sound for processing, and then you say which instance should be handling this audio. And then here you could also use the 2D and 3D audio players, and then Godot handles like the distance and like volume and so.
Pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is like a really simple C-Sound synthesizer. Like I mentioned before, you have the different options. And then here you have a section for the instruments, and then you have a section for the score. This is a simple like instrument. It's just assigned the name 1. It takes the amplitude and frequency. So whenever you have MIDI, you can think about like what note you're playing and what velocity, like how hard you hit the note. And then takes those values, and then it gives you a specific wave for that value. So here it's basically building a sawtooth tail using that whatever notes you're pressing. So like this is like what makes C sound very powerful is if you were to try to build this using C or C++, like you would have to set up everything. And here it's just you give it a scripting language. I want this to do this, and then it starts generating audio. And then here in the score, you have the events where you're telling it what note to play, what instrument, how long to hold it for, and what frequency. And then using it within C Sound, you have some classes that I expose. So there's a C Sound server. It works similar to the audio server. There's signals with a callback. So whenever the layout is changed, you get a callback, and then you also get a callback whenever a specific instance is ready. So then here, once it's done loading everything, it gets the instance using its name, right? There's always a main instance. And then it sets the control channel cutoff to 1. So you're basically setting, one of the knobs to a specific value. And then there's a button, and whenever you press the button, it'll toggle the note being on and off. So it's similar to hitting a note on the keyboard. Okay, so the next project is the LV2 host. For these, since they're audio plugins, you can't actually run them on the browser or web platforms because they're very specific to the format of audio plugins. So they're really just supported on Windows, Mac, and Windows, Mac, and Linux. The LV2 format is a specific format that's used heavily in Linux to be able to build audio plugins. It's like an open standard. And there's a lot of open source plugins that exist already that use that format. So by building the LV2 host, it allows Godot to now use like hundreds of open source audio plugins that already exist. So instead of having to build them yourself, you can just load them and start using them. And it's a similar format to the other one. You have a new tab, LV2 plugins. You can add them, remove them. You have your audio player, and then you specify you want to use the LV2 format. And then whenever you start the game, one second. Here, there's a drop down, right? So whenever you press here, you can see this is a small subset of the audio plugins I have on my machine. So I can choose any one of these, and then when the game starts, it'll load that audio plugin, and I can use it to generate the audio. And the way that you can use it is very similar to the other project. You get a signal once the plugin is ready. Then you can control the channels, and you can also turn notes on and off. And for the VST3 host, it's almost the same as LV2, but using a different format. VST3 is like a Steinberg project. And a few months ago, they changed the license and made it MIT. So as soon as they changed the license, like I created this project.
What does VST stand for?
It's a visual, not sure. Yeah. It's like basically it's a like virtual instrument.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
so it's
that,
like Steinberg created the format, and what it is, it's like the most popular format for using audio plugins. And it's like it works on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and it's the same as LV2. Yeah, so you have a tab down here, the audio player. You specify you want to use it, and then the way that you program against this is very, very similar. And then the last project is Godot distro. So distro is an open source library that allows building audio plugins. For my work, I focus mostly on LV2 and VST3, but it actually allows you to build like 5 or 6 different audio plugins. It allows you to do Apple's, I think it's like AU plugin, Clap, which is the new Linux format. You can also use Jack. It also supports Windows, Mac, and Linux. And so my project, what it really does is it bridges the gap to be able to build audio plugins within Godot itself. Yeah, so here's an example. Here's Ardour, and I have an instance of an instrument. And then here I have an audio plugin running that's actually an instance of Godot. And here's an example within Ardour. You can pipe the key MIDI into the Godot project, and then the audio gets routed onto the output. All right, and then the same for Carla. And then the way that you use the project is you create, basically you have two scenes. You have a scene for the audio processing, which is in the background, and then you have a scene for the UI. And the reason why they're separate is because the way that the digital audio workstations handles the audio, it actually handles the sound processing separate from the UI. So they're like two projects, but you specify them in Godot as a third one.
And like when it compiles, it still makes it one, or they still kind of stay separate?
Yeah, they stay separately. Like it ends up being a single folder that has all the files. And then whenever you run digital audio workstation, it'll start the sound processing one. And whenever you want to look at the UI, it'll stop and start the UI. So it's like two different processes. Yeah, so this is the UI instance. Basically, you just set it to yourself. And then the plugin itself, so you set the instance, and then here you specify the different attributes that you would normally have to program in distro. So you can have the name, the label, description, license, the different parameters, which are like the different options you can change, the input and output port. So if you are using, if you have an instrument that has like 4 input signals and 8 outputs, you would specify that in the Jimmy script. And then for the UI, there's handling the code. So there's callbacks that I created. So whenever the UI is changing parameters, it'll create a signal so that you can do whatever you want in the code with those. And then here I also have the input signal for Godot, and then that's sending a MIDI note to distro itself. All right, and then Godot Sense. Yeah, so this is the integration project. I'm not going to go over it as much, but here's a link. Basically, you can run it in the browser. And you can also run it inside the digital audio workstation. All right, so the integration. So what workflows does this allow to do? The main thing that for me, what I'm thinking about for my games is being able to compose the music directly inside Godot and being able to actually get the context of what the audio and the effects sound in the game instead of having to do it in the digital audio workstation, export, bring it to the game, run it, stop it. So it makes the experience kind of seamless. Being able to build instruments in Godot. So if I have like an idea of some audio plugin, for example, like a MIDI sequencer, I just want to be able to have something very quickly. I can prototype it in Godot, export it, and then load it into the digital audio workstation. And it would behave the same as it would in game. And then, so it allows for somebody to build the audio engine, export it, give it to a musician, have the musician build all the audio with their known workflows, and then give back the MIDI events to the developer so that they can use those in game. And once they're in the game, since you have the audio plugins and the MIDI, you can turn them off, tweak them based on what the game is doing in real time. And the other thing you could do is running audio plugins does take more resources. So if you want to just use it in Godot and then at the end export them as WAV files, like it still allows you to have a single place to do the design of the audio and then export them as WAV files if you want to do that.
So this is like that example where like you can turn down the SFX versus like speaker volume versus like all that like different stuff, right?
Yeah.
I've simplified it because that's why I see it like surface level stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so from playback to interaction. Yeah, so the main idea is for Godot to not really be just the destination of audio, but become part of the process of the creation of the audio. Shift from playing back or recording to having an orchestra that's composing the audio in real time, and have it to where instead of having the music be this kind of like background wallpaper, into a character that's actually involved in the story. So like whenever a player is interacting with the world based on what he's doing, the audio basically responds to him in real time. All right, so demo time.
About to see if it works. How do you say that?
Ardor?
Ardor.
Yeah, so change the input. Can you hear it? I hear it a little bit.
You want to turn it up a little bit on here?
Yeah.
Probably get a lot of wiggle room. We definitely heard it before.
Let me see. Maybe it's not connected. Right.
Was it not?
1 second. Let's see.
There we go.
Right. Yeah, so here's a synthesizer, right? You can play audio. And then you can also change the parameters. So here under Godot, I can open up the generic controls. And I can change some of the audio settings. So for example, at Portamento, sorry.
Good.
Or change the wave that's being used. Okay. And I guess what's interesting about this is that it's a Godot project. So I built this in Godot and I'm able to run it inside the digital audio workstation. So the audio that I would get from when composing the music is exactly the same as it would sound in game.
It's funny that you built a game to capture game audio.
Well, I mean, for this, it's really meant to be like its own platform, right?
Yeah.
Like the way that like audio plugins are being done right now, like the UI that you get is a little bit hard to manage. And by having like Godot itself to be able to do the graphics, you can do things that would normally be very difficult.
I mean, because at this point you can just create whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
You make a plugin for it, then you make it an interface, and then
Right. And then let me go ahead and show the actual game.
Is this your VelociCode project?
No.
No. Okay.
I could use it. But
He's also for Pacific. What's the startup times on like Godot projects when they start getting pretty big?
Yeah, for this, it's a bit hard, or like I need to optimize because whenever it starts right now, every single audio plugin is loading all the presets. It's taking longer than usual. Like this should really open instantly. Let's see. Okay, and before running the game, right? So here there's 2 C sound instances. There's 11 audio plugins, and then a VST plugin. And then here under the world, I have all the different players. And they're being routed through C sound, and then I'll show it. Okay. I know it might be loud.
I got it down. Just in case. I'll go up as we go. What's your favorite thing about it?
Probably that's open source.
That's open source. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, so here's my character, right? He's moving around. The jump and the shoot, they're actually synthesizers that I'm playing. So I'm playing what note, like changing the notes. So it's actually playing within a scale, random notes. For when there's a collision with a character, instead of playing an audio, I'm actually taking the whole audio from the game and modifying it. So it's actually using a bit crusher to change the audio. So you get like this glitch effect. Like entering the section, then it'll actually go on to the next state in the state machine for the audio. And the character's position is controlling the LV2 audio. So it's like slowing down.
That's
And you're able to shoot. It's a bit hard to hear, but as you're getting into bigger and bigger rooms, the resonance of the rooms is changing. So here you're in the next section, so now like another additional area, and the sound is being layered. It's progressive. Here there's like another underwater section. So it's doing a low pass filter. So you get like that feeling you're actually underwater, right? And then you continue, and then yeah. So basically, I'm getting attacked now, and the intensity of the music has changed. So like the tempo increased, and I can just go and destroy them. Take off.
Is it increasing based on how many are in there?
Not really.
Or
Like
just
I just made it to like I did like a tween from one value to another, so it just like ramps up in intensity. And then if I go back to the beginning, it's gonna go back and like to the way that it was at the very beginning until I'm back in the same area. So like the music itself, you can tell a story beyond just a track that's repeating. So here's like the user interface. I can stop the audio, but it's actually still playing because all I did was stop the MIDI events from triggering. So like I can pause it to be able to sync it and then start it again. I can also seek to a specific location. So like even though it was playing, I could go back to the beginning. Also change the tempo. I think before it was like going like 300, but I could actually make it go a lot faster. And at some point it's like way too fast. And then yeah, so here's the different instruments, right? So this is the bass that you're hearing. Yeah, so you have the bass. Whenever you exit, it lowers the volume. So go ahead, raise it. And yeah, I have it connected to my MIDI keyboard, so I can actually hear it again. So I can actually go through and change it to some other sound. So like the audio track is possible to change completely in game. And if we go back to the previous instrument, for example, here I can do the same thing that I was doing before, where I can change the portamento so that whenever it's going from one note to another, instead of just having an abrupt change, it'll be like a slide. All right. And then the for C sound, I'm actually using it for like the effects. So for example, when the character is jumping, right, it's just playing the jump sound. So I can actually load a different sound to change. Right, and then I can increase this release and sustain, so it'll actually just play the song. Let me load this again. Yeah, and it's the same for the bullets, right? You can change the audio. Yeah, so like for this, it's like a really simple demo. And the game that I'm going to be working on, I'm going to be leveraging all this so that the game is basically just being driven completely by the audio.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Let me go ahead and close this. All right. Future work. I think Clap is the new format for Linux. It's gaining traction. Right now, there's a lot of plugins that use LV2, but maybe in the future I'll support Clap or maybe some other plugins. Improve plugin compatibility and performance, and also expand what can be done within Godot. What I was showing was basically like the backbone, being able to load plugins, drive the audio, but there's no reason why you couldn't just record within Godot, play back, edit the MIDI notes, right? So like that integration could be there. And also have a more seamless workflow between Godot, the audio plugin, and the digital audio workstation. At the moment, it's a little bit hard to get the build because I don't have it automated where you just say within Godot export, and then you have a plugin. But the idea is to have it towards a seamless experience. You're inside Godot, you're changing the parameters, you say export, and now you have an audio plugin, you can go and use a digital audio workstation. All right. If you're interested, right, the projects are open source, they're available on GitHub. You can explore, use them, contribute. And I'm also available for collaboration if you're interested in working together on something. And any questions? Yeah, go.
Not particularly a question about this, but you said that CLAP is more of becoming like a modern standard in Linux. Why?
It's a better format in a way.
Better format?
Yeah.
More palatable?
I mean, I think it's the same people working on it. Yeah. Like they basically like took a lot of like ideas, like the audio systems, like they kind of like create a new format, and if it gains traction, then it becomes the standard. So it's a new format. Mm-hmm. If it ever becomes the standard, then I'm gonna go ahead and like create the Clap host and then be able to export for this also.
Gotcha.
Can this be done with a C# Godot project?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can use it with C#.
Or you could use it open.
How long have you been working on it?
Full time for months. Like before when I was working on this on the side, about 2 years.
Yeah, quick.
Besides the demo, have you used it for? I'm assuming you use this tool quite frequently. But aside from that demo, is there any other thing that you used it for?
Yeah. I mean, I can show. Let me go back to.
If you want, I'm not going to push it.
Let's see. Actually, I can show what somebody did with it. That would be more interesting.
Okay.
I won't show my stuff.
Yeah, like somebody made a game and they.
Icarus?
Yeah.
Oh, this looks sick.
Oh, 1 second. I think.
Wrong
Yeah, my. I think my BIM bindings might have messed up.
So, like, I'm assuming everything that's reacting to sound is being driven by
Yes.
others from your system.
Yeah.
So, like the changing of the size of the
Well, the audio is being driven by. Oh, I guess I see what you're saying. Like, are they trick? I don't know. I mean, I didn't build the game, but it's a showcase of somebody creating dynamic audio.
This is
Geo Icarus.
Icarus. Geo Icarus.
Yeah, you can find it by the C sound, like GitHub repo, right?
It's that's the philosophy. Driven by the audience.
So it's a bit more of I don't know. I guess historically, like a long time ago, video games they had an audio chip, and whenever you were creating the audio, you were triggering the MIDI events to be able to create the audio. When they moved to CDs, since it was like a better format for audio, like everyone just started making like incredible audio overnight. But they actually never really left that format for the most part. And now that the computers are better and you're able to do more with the processor, the audio is still following that idea of it being a CD where you're just playing the tracks.
I do appreciate that this audio is not as bad as a loop of like you die and just like hard cuts. I hate those so bad. Although Geometry Dash got me in the hole, man.
And then what I was actually going to show was the synthesizer.
It's great. Everybody you can just load it in that browser.
Yeah.
WebGL, powerful.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's WebGL.
No accidents. Oh. Right, so it's like what I showed earlier, but running on the browser.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Can I, whatever I make here, can I export?
Yeah, I mean, you could run it on the phone. Like if you take the QR code and like scan it with your phone, and then you connect the MIDI to your phone, you can play it on your phone device. Yeah.
Gina home now.
And then I have, and then like this I'm using to build like my own games, right? But I don't have those like in a showable form yet.
Soon.
Yeah, so.
Are you planning to make it open source, or is it just your personal stuff right now?
I think like all the frameworks and libraries I'm making open source like right away.
Mm-hmm.
But for my game, like I'm trying to make like something out of it, right?
Yeah.
Like I do like want to make it open source like down the line. Like I think that actually if you go to GitHub under my username, I have pretty much all the games that I've made. Like there's a game like Zelda with a C where you're basically on a map and it's like Pokemon and you're fighting monsters. But it's like kind of rough, right? It's like the first game I made.
Can I ask what the best practice is for monetization?
I mean, I don't know about best practice. Are you asking for like open source projects or like games in general?
Just any game, because I'm trying to release a free game, but at least generates revenue.
Yeah, I think the model I'm following is a bit like the open source model. Like, for example, like looking for Patreon supporters. Like if you build a tool that's actually useful, like, there's people that can contribute that way. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's I think that's probably the hardest part, right?
I think it kind of depends too on like what platform.
Yeah.
Like if you go to iOS, like and you're making it free, and then you have all the Apple gates, right? You go to Android, there's a few gates now,
Yeah.
but like that's a different thing. But then if you're on like browser, I mean, that's like probably a Patreon route, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you opened up someone's game just now. There's no financial gain from this person in this at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I think it's about a focus, right? Like for example, like some of the tools that I'm building, like there's opportunities for like contract work, like collaborations, teaching. Right? So it's like not necessarily like the games themselves. It's like the platform, right? So it's very similar to how Godot runs their foundation. Like they're not monetizing by like making games. They're building like the tool to make the games. And then through contributions, like donations and different mechanisms, they're able to maintain development.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, usually somebody asked how I automate workflows, and then I just kind of made like this tool. It's kind of like a game. It was essentially my workflow. And so that that's the value to show.
Yeah.
Watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow like services. I think there's like companies that have their software services.
Mm-hmm. Or it's like you can offer like a free product. In the game world, I'm not so sure, but like as like SaaS, you can offer like a free version of the product, and then like you want to save more than 2 megabytes, like pay.
Yeah, but I think usually that's probably the hardest part, right? Monetization.
Yeah, so that's why I've been researching ways to, because I come from that. Because I monetize 2D art. But it's quite competitive because it's lower barrier to entry. And so if you're at a lot of times the 3D art models minimum, very
Yeah.
I don't know if you're also familiar with this, because they have these standard like real e-commerce websites for anyone. Anyone can just go on Blender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has also done research in this because it's been contemplating for this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the way that I do things is just try different things. Right? Like whatever sticks, then that's how you're monetizing.
Yeah, don't compare yourself to the trends.
Yeah.
Like the hard part.
Yeah, I think, and the other thing is probably like not try to follow like what it is that everybody's already doing, because you're basically entering like a competition.
Yeah.
But if you do your own thing, you have your own focus, you're like in your own track.
Unless you for sure know you can do it better.
Other than like tonight, this presentation, have you created any tutorials for any video?
Not really. I have the documentation for Godot CSAM. My plan is to eventually have a more of an online presence. Like I plan on having like a community for indie game developers. It's like indiegame.org. And I plan on having it to where it's open source. Anybody can go there and you can say like, this is my company. These are the games I'm working on. Do a PR and it gets merged into
That's your domain. You gave it.
Yeah, right now it's kind of bare. Like I haven't actually taken the time to build it out. But the idea is that I want to have it to where the community is maintaining it and it becomes a platform where indie game developers help each other without actually just focusing on like trying to beat the algorithm, like all these kind of like gamifications in other platforms. Right? It's just a place where people that are passionate about game development can like show what they're doing. And the other aspect I wanted to add to that is integration with AI, so that AI can go like, you have agent, they spread like go to like YouTube, find tutorials, then automatically create a PR. And then whenever you review it, make sure it's okay, you merge it, it becomes part of the web page. So then it becomes this collaboration between indie game developers and like AI agents that are helping create content in like a single platform.
So what do you want the platform to be? Like you want it to be like a showcase kind of thing, or you want it to be like
I mean,
it's a game itself?
Well, not necessarily showcase. It's more like a platform for indie game developers. So for example, like all the tools I'm building, the tutorials, I could go there. And,
So like a big documentation kind
Yeah.
of thing. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily just documentation, because you could actually add your company, your games, if you're an artist. So it's like one place where a community can maintain it.
Yeah, that's kind of
What was that?
Like forums and stuff.
Of forums? Maybe forums. I was thinking of having it all driven through GitHub. So like, if you're already a developer and you're working on projects, it's like, I did this, you do a PR, and then it gets merged and it becomes part of the web page.
Kind of similar to maybe an indie game hosting service.
Oh, like Itch?
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that, but not necessarily for the games themselves.
Yeah.
More for like the indie game developers. Right?
The person aspect, not
Yeah.
the aspect. Yes.
Yeah.
the plugin fee.
Like social media for game developers.
Not necessarily a social media. It's more like a development platform that's shared, right? So like if you have an article that you built and you want to link to it from somewhere, and you're trying to like go on Reddit or different places, like it kind of just gets lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea for this webpage is like a single focus where the community maintains it. and it becomes like a portal where it's not like, this is my friend or anything like that. It's like, I wrote this article, I want to participate. Can you add it? You do a PR, and then it becomes like an open source project for a web page that the community is maintaining.
That's really cool.
Let's say I was like thinking wiki or forum or something
Yeah,
like that. but
like the way that it works, I guess. What I'm using is like Hugo. It's like a
comparing it to other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the idea is that it's a combination of a bunch of these things,
Yeah.
right?
What it really is,
But it's managed by GitHub.
it's a Hugo project. So it's a markdown. So basically, you go there, you create a markdown file, and then the process will automatically make that part of the web page, right? So if you let's say you build your own agent that's keeping track of some trends, you can just set it up to where it automatically does a PR to that project. So it makes it to where the community is maintaining a single place instead of a large company or like someone whose incentive is making money instead of like helping the community.
It's like a window to its perspective.
Yeah.
Shows some visibility on just what people are doing.
Yeah. And the idea is for indie game developers, right? Like if you have a huge studio and you're funded, like that's probably not the right place.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah. No, I mean there's like
Rightful gatekeeping.
like having
you know
like
what I mean?
Capcom go on there, we're making this game. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
You're kind of just flooding it with like
All the stuff that
Yeah.
they're being paid for to do. Yeah.
Okay, so I met a successful indie game developer, and just to consult, he said he could charge $100 an hour, but he actually felt bad and ashamed of succeeding because he felt like he was just a drug dealer because he was just so good at selling dopamine. Was what he said.
oh
So they would optimize for the dopamine and the addiction.
I see.
Megabot.
Yeah. Well, I think there's like a lot of platforms, like not just specifically games, right? Like social media, like the infinite scroll. So there's like a lot of like studies that they've done on like compulsive behavior, and then they incorporated it to like different media.
I'm working the San Japan dev platform. I'll try to get some of that perspective too. Because I know a lot of people don't know one-on-one stuff like that. It might make you feel bad. Like, well, I'm selling you the like dream of if you listen to me, you'll be successful, but like it's not really how it always goes.
I mean, sometimes events like that where you're like sharing perspective, where like your success as an indie dev or your success as like an individual, right? I think it sometimes motivates certain individuals, right? Or sometimes you show up to the right conversation and you're like, I get that, like I could relate to that, like they have a similar situation of growth similar to me, and like you said, it's not for everybody, right? That conversation isn't always for everybody, but.
And I guess to like, what is it? For me, I guess I didn't explain this right. The reason why I'm doing like game development right now is not because I had a successful game. It was more like I was successful doing other things, and now I have the opportunity to do this. Right? So I can't really give advice on like how to make money with games yet.
I like the
Yeah.
positive, man. It's gonna happen.
The dream is to make money with game dev, but like I mostly study it in school as a means to finish a degree in computer science more than anything else. It's like if I have to actually do that full time and keep it as like my side project.
I guess like advice in general, like I don't know, when I started, I was the same. I wanted to focus only on games. But what I've learned working at large companies makes it to where now, like compared to where I was when I started, like it's night and day difference.
Yeah.
Like all the things that I'm describing, like maintaining 5 different projects, having everything automated, being able to support all the platforms. There's no way I could have done that without having gone through like the corporate like learning ladder and figuring out how to automate all those things. Right? So there's a lot of value in working for companies.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can
even if it's not game development.
Just all you gotta and sell out.
Someone's buying.
For me, I started off doing a bunch of game-related stuff, and the company I worked for was Booz Allen Hamilton. They did a lot of virtual reality stuff for the military. So I was doing that a lot, doing a lot of Unity work, And then over time, they were just like, okay, we're losing these contracts. We need you to focus on this web project. So I got shooting into that, and then I just kind of fell in love with that. And so now it's primarily what my role is. But there's still ways that I bring myself back to game dev, like WebGL, just like interacting with that, but like interacting with it from just a vanilla standpoint, and like drawing my own canvases and seeing what I can do through code on the canvas elements just directly. Really great ways of creating interesting interactions without having to use like a game engine.
And him and a good friend, one of our recent talks for ACM San Antonio was talking about 3JS.
Really?
So it's on YouTube, so you check it out. We recorded the whole thing, so it was pretty cool. Where it just kind of went in to be like, oh, you can model over here, but then you can bring it into the browser if you're familiar with that kind of system. So like, I think in this world, I mean, you're a good example here, Werner, is like, hey, I built games, but I built, an audio interface in a game, versus like, hey, I like games, but I'm a web developer now, so I built games in a web dev, so like, there's so many of these platforms that are kind of crossing over now to be like, someone had a previous career and now they're over here doing new things, right? And so I think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like for programming, like once you know how to do it really well, it doesn't matter if it's games or like you can just basically switch to anything.
You take those principles with you in the next thing you do, and then you just keep building on yourself.
I was like sharing that like everything you learn is like a developer, like a toolkit.
Yeah.
No one's gonna take away your toolkit. Like you know how to do those things.
You'll forget though.
You used to say Google, but now you can just look at ask AI for questions. So
That's really beautiful.
It's like using AI. It's like, what did I do 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I used to do that.
Something I've kind of been interested in lately, an idea that keeps cropping back in my head is like, okay, take every project I've ever like worked on in my GitHub repository and ask an AI to look through over time the trend and the building up on things and how I've gotten better, and having AI like kind of remind me of certain things. Like I'll ask it a question and it'll like go back to a project that I already did, and this is what you did for this project, and this is what you did for this project, and like kind of compare the two. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what additional value I could build something like that.
I think it depends on if you're going back for a project, but all my school projects I put on GitHub private.
Yeah. I mean, I can show. You want to see my first video?
Do it.
Sure, yeah.
That's great. Let's see.
I was looking through your backlog earlier. Is it tiny parser?
Yeah, so here it is.
Oh, that's self. Okay. Self,
Two.
but I didn't see it in here.
That's just the image.
How does the graphics work?
Yeah, I mean, this was done on Windows with like a Borderlands C++ like graphics thing.
Like OpenGL or something.
No, not
That
OpenGL.
was a thing.
No.
Pre-OpenGL. OpenGL is the new thing. Oh.
Yeah, so like,
So wait, so how is this rendering? DirectX or?
no, I mean, it's not even. It's like this one specific library.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's where's it? WinBGM IM.
Okay. Never heard of that.
Yeah.
9 years ago.
Well, 14 years ago was the getting norm.
Yeah. No, this is let's see, what is it? 25 years ago.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
they
so
uploaded it 14
it's
years
funny.
ago.
Like for this, like when I was in the class, we didn't have Photoshop or anything like that. So I wrote a program where you could click.
Oh, that's cool.
So like all the graphics, I just like threw them in, then it would print out like some code, and then I copy that code, and put it into the game.
That's smart.
Crazy. Yeah, but I mean, this like the game's probably not beatable, but
It's not beatable.
I don't know.
I kind of get into too, like hard coding my games, like no engine, just like straight in the IDE with whatever library I need.
Mhm.
I never finish them, man. I don't know how people did it. It's so hard.
It takes a certain amount of tenacity to see a project through to the end. It's rough.
Yeah,
It's a coder's number one problem. They never finish their project, but they start all the project.
Yeah, don't look at my head. Like,
It's
I don't know
like,
if you
make it
want
better.
to turn the volume.
Let me turn it up.
Turn it down.
For my
It's gonna be like actually-
like on the TI.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, it has audio.
Totally original.
Like the whole screen refreshing everything.
Yeah.
I mean, technically that's what's happening anyway.
Well, yeah.
We just do it a lot quicker.
But I'm imagining the code.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said it wasn't beatable.
Oh yeah, probably not. I never actually tried.
You need to make a high score of the game now.
That was it. So now I'll just go to a harder. Go.
It's like Pokemon. The strum.
Yeah.
You have all this memorized at this point?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna be able to beat this guy.
No.
Oh, his health is a lot less than yours.
Dealt 55 damage to him.
Oh, but his strength is 60. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he did 18, and then the CPU did 57. That dude messed you up.
Yeah. If you actually do it in a specific sequence, it might be beatable. I just jump way ahead.
Fine. You could R&D and hope for the best every time.
Yeah. So I have other games on there.
That's fun. Cool. Any other questions?
I did. Like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, if it ever comes up, you're in all the Discords at this point.
Yeah. No name, enter name.
No name, enter name?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean everywhere it's the same. Like GitHub.
Can I add you on Discord?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I should have added that on the QR code.
Hmm.
Yeah, like here. Yeah, so that's my GitHub. You can reach me at.
No more questions. All right. Cool. Okay. Hopefully I'm not too loud. I just sounded loud sitting in front of it. Cool. Well, Werner was running our slides, and he's going to continue to do that. Thank you, Werner. I want to give a round of applause. That was really cool. I like hearing about audio. I like hearing about little pieces. As you can see, we have another major event happening tomorrow. That is our halfway point. You beat us a day before halfway. So tomorrow is our halfway point in the month of VelociCode. We are dubbing it Playtest Night. Thank you to all those who have already registered to come submit. If you're interested still, if you're watching on the stream or if you're here in person and you want to demo your project tomorrow, there is a form in the ACM San Antonio Discord that you can fill out. You're like, whoa, my game's not ready. I don't want to show it off. I don't care. You can come show off the broken pieces. You can come show off the concepts. You can come show off the ideas, right? I don't care what you show off because that night is for you. That night is for you to be like, I have questions about my game. Am I going in the right direction, right? And could I add more? Could I back off on something else, right? That's a perfect time to get the public's opinion of what your game is already about, right? So it's a good time. We'll have setup. We'll have monitors. We'll have all this stuff if you need them. We'll have tables. It'll be at Zealous Camp. We'll be kicking off at 6 o'clock. It's only in person. I won't be streaming anything. So no stress there. Like anything's being recorded. So it'll be really fun. So it's open to the public. If you have friends, family that wants to come out, invite them out. We'll have a bunch of snacks, some sodas, and we'll also have a DJ. So definitely a party vibe. We're going to come hang out. Everyone's invited. And those who want to get feedback, definitely submit that form for us, right? But looking forward to being our halfway point at Zealous Camp. So
Also, I want to say the next event after that is going to be our final sprint workshop. We have another Unreal Engine event coming up, and they're calling it the final sprint workshop. Basically, they're giving the opportunity to those who want to have an extra pair of eyes on their project. They have questions. They're also going to go over a bunch of high-level things of like how you develop in Unreal and yada, 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 do a bunch of different things. They did say, Rick Canfield did say, if you do come and you're developing with Godot or Unity or anything else, he's like, I'm still going to offer advice. He's like, I'm there to help, and share guidance on wherever you might be in your project. Show up, interact with the community. If you have questions, you're stuck on something, or you're wanting to add something, that's a perfect time to come check it out. We will be at Geekdom on the 3rd floor where we did kickoff. That is the goal right now. But yeah, come get feedback, come interact with people with their professional career, and have some insight there too. So other events, I don't want to demean or anything else. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. Dinos and Coffee is another thing happening at Stella Public House. If you haven't been there, it's next to the, I'm going to say it wrong, the Halcyon?
Halcyon.
Yeah. Halcyon. I'll get it right eventually. They're in the back of the shop. It's a restaurant. They reserved a bunch of space for us. It's basically just social, another event similar to the final sprint workshop, but more like informal. Come hang out, buy a drink, hang out with everybody, bring your computer. If you have questions, there's going to be some cool individuals. James is helping me lead that from one of the Alamo colleges. So excited to be having that support there as well. So another opportunity if you're stuck or if you want to have questions about things from other game devs, that's an opportunity for you to come check out. We also included the Google developer group event that's happening on that Saturday as well. It's a bunch of cool things happening. You can come build like a mini game or utilize Google credits and stuff like that to build something else. It's a cool single day event. Go check it out. If you build a game in that day, you can submit it then too. So I also have a virtual how to submit. Submissions are due. I'm going to recite this every time I have an event with VelociCode. Submissions are due on the 30th at 11:59 p.m. I'm not going to extend the date. So start your project, start your submission, all that kind of stuff. So, and then the showcase is August 1st. August 1st, again, the only event you have to technically be in person for. So, and then I want to say a big thank you to Black Potion. They hosted us today. They gave us this room for free. Normally they do charge. So thank you for everybody that did come, indulging, having some food here, having some drinks. It's a really cool place. If you haven't been here, it's a local card and board game shop. Located here on Fredericksburg Road in San Antonio. So come check them out. And then as always, I want to thank you to our sponsors. All these sponsors you see up here and potentially more pretty soon are people who have given prizes or finances to ACM to fund VelociCode. So big thank you to all of them. And then can't always forget our community partners in San Antonio. There's always too many to name, but I always love all of them. If you're ever curious about who's going on or what's going on where, check out DevSA. That's the central point to check out organizations in San Antonio related to tech, or just come ask me questions. So I just want to give a big shout out to all those people supporting us. Cool. And then I want to say thanks for coming. So whether you watched on stream or you came here in person and hung out with us, thank you for coming. So thank you, Werner, again, and then thank all of y'all. That's it. Thank you, everybody. All good. I'm muted myself.
Just that stream.
I don't know.
We will do.